Hello, wonderful friends. I hope you're having a great day, but even if things aren't going perfectly right now, this might be exactly what you need to hear. Today, I'm not just going to share some motivation with you, I'm going to give you real tools to strengthen your mind. Let's be honest about something. This world can be tough on people who aren't mentally prepared. When you're too emotional, others might take advantage of you. If you spend too much time overthinking, life passes you by. When you're too gentle with yourself, people might hurt you without even apologizing. Some people will use you, lie to you, laugh at your dreams, and take advantage when you stay quiet. That's exactly why, in today's world, mental strength matters more than money, good looks, social media followers, or fame. You need to develop a strong mind, because while weak minds suffer alone in silence, strong minds rise quietly and build their success behind the scenes. But what does having mental strength actually mean? It's not about being the loudest person in the room or pretending everything is always fine. Real mental strength means staying calm when small problems arise, choosing peace instead of panic, thinking clearly when everything feels chaotic, and remaining steady even when you're in pain. Unfortunately, many people today struggle with mental weakness. They get angry within seconds, fall apart over minor issues, compare their real lives to what they see on Instagram, and constantly need others to tell them they're good enough just to feel okay about themselves. But that changes today, if you decide to make that change. In this guide, I'll share 15 powerful strategies that will make your mind stronger than 99% of people around you. Remember this important truth. Strong minds discuss ideas, average minds talk about events, and weak minds gossip about people. Let's stop being weak and start becoming powerfully peaceful while also improving your English skills. Strategy 1. Train your mind to stay calm, especially during chaos. A strong mind isn't one that never experiences pain. It's a mind that knows how to stay calm even when everything seems to be falling apart around you. Let's face it, we all go through difficult times. Money problems, exams, relationship issues, heartbreak, family pressure, failure, and career challenges. When these problems hit, most people lose their composure. They shout, cry, panic, and blame others. But mentally strong people respond differently. They don't react immediately. Instead, they pause, take a breath, think clearly, and then act wisely. Why? Because emotional reactions never solve problems. They just create more problems. Picture this scenario. Someone insults you in front of other people. A mentally weak person would shout back, lose control, and maybe even start a fight. But a mentally strong person, they smile, walk away, and let their success do the talking later. That calm mind becomes your greatest weapon. You simply cannot build a successful life if your emotions are in control of you. You must learn to control your emotions, especially anger, jealousy, fear, and anxiety. Here's how to start practicing this. When someone says something hurtful, don't respond immediately. Take a breath and think first. When things go wrong, sit quietly for 10 minutes and let your mind settle. When you feel angry, ask yourself, will this matter 5 years from now? Strong minds aren't loud, they're calm, and in that calmness, they become unshakable. Strategy 2. Spend quality time with yourself and learn to enjoy it. Most people are actually afraid of being alone. They constantly need someone to talk to. They need social media, music, noise, and distractions because silence makes them uncomfortable. But here's an important truth. If you can't sit quietly with yourself for 30 minutes, how can you handle life's biggest challenges? Spending time with yourself means getting to know who you really are. It means understanding your thoughts, your feelings, and why you feel certain ways. It means learning to enjoy your own company without needing attention from others. The strongest people in the world aren't necessarily those with the most friends. They're the ones who feel complete even when they're alone. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Being alone means having power, time for reflection, and opportunity to recharge your soul. Use this time wisely. Write down your thoughts every day, go for walks without headphones, and ask yourself deep questions. What am I trying to avoid? Why do I feel anxious? What do I really want in life? Most people know more about celebrities than they know about their own minds. That's why they feel empty inside. That's why they panic when no one texts them. That's why they feel jealous when someone else is happy. But when you start spending quality time with yourself, you begin to heal, grow, and become emotionally independent. Once you truly enjoy your own company, you'll never have to beg for someone else's attention again. Strategy 3. Stop overthinking and learn to let things go. Overthinking is one of the biggest enemies of mental strength, and it's everywhere. You say something awkward in a conversation and think about it for 7 hours. You send a message, don't get a reply, and create 10 possible explanations in your head. You make a small mistake and suddenly feel like your entire future is ruined. That's not thinking, that's torturing yourself. Let me share something important with you. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool, but if you don't control it, it will become your worst enemy. A mentally weak person keeps replaying the past, thinking things like, what if I had said this instead? Why did they treat me that way? What if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? And you know what? All this mental noise doesn't change the past, and it doesn't prepare you for the future. It just steals your peace, your sleep, and your confidence. So, how do you stop overthinking? Start by understanding this simple truth. Not everything deserves your mental energy. If someone misunderstands you, explain once. If they still don't get it, let it go. If you made a mistake, correct it if you can, then forgive yourself and move forward. If you don't know what will happen tomorrow, stop trying to guess. Wait and live today. You don't need all the answers right now. You just need the courage to take the next step without fear. Here's an example. You go to a job interview and they don't call you back. A mentally weak person thinks, maybe I said something wrong. Maybe they hated me. I'm such a failure. I'll never get a job. This downward spiral destroys their confidence. But a mentally strong person thinks, maybe I wasn't the right fit, but I'll improve and try again. One rejection doesn't define my future. They feel the disappointment, but they don't get stuck in it. You need to train your brain to interrupt this negative loop. Every time your mind starts creating stories, say this. This thinking isn't helpful. This isn't real. Let me focus on what I can actually control. Overthinking is a habit, but so is having peace of mind. You get to choose which one you practice every day. Strategy 4. Stop chasing attention and build self-respect instead. We live in a world where most people are addicted to being noticed. They want likes, followers, compliments, and attention, even if it's fake. When they don't get this attention, they feel worthless. But mental strength begins when you stop asking, "Who's watching me?" and start asking, "Am I proud of who I'm becoming?" Weak people need attention to feel alive. Strong people give their attention to their goals. Let me ask you something. Why do you post everything online? Why do you feel sad when someone doesn't notice your new haircut? Why do you constantly try to prove yourself to people who don't even care about you? It's because deep inside, you're still looking for approval from others. But here's the truth. The people who chase attention the most are often the most insecure inside. Real confidence is quiet. A lion doesn't need to announce that it's a lion. It just walks, and everything respects it naturally. You don't need 1,000 people to clap for you. You need to be able to clap for yourself when no one else is watching. Imagine someone who goes to the gym not to become healthy, but only to post selfies in the mirror. They skip workouts, don't train hard, but every day they want attention online. When nobody comments, "Wow, you're looking great," they feel empty. That's not strength. That's validation addiction. Now compare that to someone who works out daily, silently, and consistently, without posting anything. No drama, no spotlight, just consistent effort. 6 months later, they've completely transformed, not for others, but for themselves. That's real mental power. Start living like this. Don't tell everyone your next move. Let your results speak for themselves. Stop dressing to impress strangers and start showing up to impress your future self. Learn to enjoy doing things even when nobody claps for you. The moment you stop chasing attention, you start attracting respect, including respect from yourself. Because attention is temporary, but self-respect lasts forever. Strategy 5. Seek discomfort. Growth never happens in comfort zones. Let me tell you something that most people will never say directly to your face. If you want an easy life, you will never develop a strong mind. This generation is addicted to comfort. Comfortable beds, comfortable jobs, comfortable relationships, comfortable excuses. They avoid anything hard, anything uncertain, anything that demands real effort. But here's the truth. Every time you choose comfort, you're saying no to your growth. Every time you avoid difficulty, you're choosing weakness. Look at the strongest people in the world. Not just physically strong, but mentally strong. They all went through difficult times. They all experienced pain, failure, rejection, loneliness, and embarrassment. But they kept moving forward. They kept trying, because growth only happens when you step into the unknown. Here's an example. Imagine you're scared of public speaking. Every time you need to speak, your hands shake, your voice cracks, and your mind goes blank. So you avoid speaking opportunities. You hide, stay silent, and let others take the microphone. It feels safe, but every time you avoid that discomfort, your fear grows stronger and you grow weaker. Now flip the script. You volunteer to speak even though you shake. You speak even though you forget lines and mess up, and then you do it again. Guess what happens? One day, you stop shaking. You stop fearing. You speak with power. Why? Because you chose discomfort over hiding. That's where growth lives. In the gym, when your muscles burn. At 5 a.m. when you want to sleep but choose discipline. In the moments when you fail but get back up. Discomfort isn't your enemy. It's your trainer, your teacher, and your path to becoming unstoppable. Most people will never be mentally strong, not because they lack intelligence, but because they keep choosing what feels easy instead of what makes them grow. Comfort gives you momentary peace, but discomfort gives you long-term power. Want to be mentally strong? Do the hard things, the scary things, the uncomfortable things, every single day. Strategy 6. Be patient with success. Stop rushing the process. Let's be realistic. This generation is in a hurry for everything. They want success in 6 months, love in 1 swipe, money without learning, respect without effort, and a strong mind without going through any pain. But here's the brutal truth. Anything that comes fast doesn't last, and anything that lasts takes time. Mental strength isn't built in 1 week. It's not a YouTube tip or a 5-minute life hack. It's the result of showing up consistently when no one claps, no one notices, and no one cares. You want to be successful? You want to be unbreakable? You want to be proud of yourself? Then stop asking, why is it taking so long? Why am I not there yet? Why is everyone ahead of me? Instead, start asking, how can I be better today than I was yesterday? Am I doing the work even when it's boring? Can I wait without giving up? Let me give you a real-life example. Think of a tree. Before it grows tall, it spends years growing roots underground, invisible, unseen, and unappreciated. But those roots are what make it strong during storms. Now compare that to people who try to grow fast without building strong foundations. 1 failure and they collapse. 1 heartbreak and they break. One rejection and they give up. Why? Because they rushed the process. Strong minds are developed slowly, not quickly. Be patient with your journey. The gym might not show results in 2 weeks, but it's changing you. Reading books might feel slow, but it's sharpening your brain. Your English might not be fluent yet, but every day you practice, you get better. Patience is a superpower in a world that wants instant results. Be the person who says, "I don't care how long it takes. I will not stop until I become the best version of myself." And let me tell you one more thing. The day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. So stop judging your progress by comparing it to what others are doing. You're not late. You're not behind. You're just building something real, and real success takes time. Strategy 7. Be disciplined. Do what needs to be done. Even when you don't feel like it. If motivation is the spark, then discipline is the fire that keeps burning. Everyone wants to be mentally strong, but the truth is, most people only take action when they feel like it. They wait for motivation. They wait for energy. They wait for the perfect moment. But mental strength isn't about feelings. It's about doing what's right even when you don't feel ready. If you only study when you're in the mood, if you only work when it's easy, if you only show up when you're inspired, you'll never go far. Why? Because life doesn't care about your mood. Success doesn't care about your excuses. Your future is being built with or without you. Discipline means waking up early even when you're tired. It means saying no to distractions even when they look fun. It means doing the hard, boring, painful work over and over again. It means finishing what you started even when nobody's watching. Let's make this real. Imagine 2 people learning English. The first person studies only when they feel motivated. Some days they learn, some days they skip, some weeks they completely disappear. They watch videos, feel inspired, but never apply what they learn daily. The second person practices every single day, even when tired, even when busy, even when bored. They write 5 sentences a day, read out loud, speak to the mirror, and repeat words again and again. Fast forward 6 months. Guess who speaks fluently and confidently? Not the one who was motivated, but the one who was disciplined. That's the power of showing up consistently. You don't need to be the smartest. You don't need to be the most talented. You just need to be the person who refuses to quit. Ask yourself, can you work without applause? Can you practice when it's boring? Can you improve when no one believes in you? Because that's where greatness is born. Most people want results, but mentally strong people want routines, because they know results are just the reward. Discipline is the path. You don't need motivation every day. You need to become the person who moves forward anyway. So, from today, tell yourself, I may not feel like it, but I'll do it anyway, because my future depends on it. This isn't a choice. This is who I am now. Discipline isn't punishment. It's self-respect in action. Strategy 8. Live in the present moment. Stop replaying the past and fearing the future. One of the biggest signs of mental weakness is this. A person is never really present. Their body is in the room, but their mind is either stuck in the past or afraid of the future. They keep thinking, I shouldn't have done that. Why did they hurt me? What if I fail tomorrow? What if something goes wrong? While they keep thinking, the present moment slips away. But here's the truth. The past, you can't change it. The future, you can't control it. The present, it's all you have, and it's the only place where life actually happens. Mentally strong people understand this. They live here, in this moment. They don't drown in regret. They don't panic about next week. They focus, breathe, and experience everything clearly. Let's make this personal. Have you ever eaten your favorite food but didn't even taste it because your mind was somewhere else? Or talked to someone you love but weren't really listening? Or missed sleep at night because your mind kept replaying past mistakes? That's what living in the future or the past does. It steals your life one moment at a time. Now imagine this. You go for a walk and leave your phone behind. You notice the sky, feel the breeze, hear the birds, feel your breath, and smile because you're actually alive. Not just surviving. That's presence. That's power. That's peace. When your mind is fully in the present, you make better decisions, enjoy deeper conversations, and stop wasting energy on things you cannot change. Even pain becomes easier to handle because you deal with it one moment at a time, not 10 years at once. Start practicing this. When you eat, focus only on the food. When you talk, give 100% attention. When your mind runs away, gently bring it back to your breath. It will feel difficult at first, but slowly it becomes your new way of living. The present moment isn't small. It's everything. It's the only place where change happens, where strength grows, and where healing begins. So stop letting your mind run wild. Bring it back right here, right now. This is your power. Strategy 9. Don't compare yourself with others. Your journey is unique. Your timing is sacred. One of the most dangerous things you can do to your mental health is compare your life to others, yet we all do it. We look at someone's Instagram post and think, why is their life so perfect? We hear someone speak fluently in English and think, why can't I speak like that? We see someone's success and, instead of feeling inspired, we feel small, insecure, and ashamed. But listen to me carefully. Their path is not your path. Their timing is not your timing. Their blessings are not your blessings. When you compare yourself to others, you're insulting your own story. You're telling your soul that you're not enough. And that's how mental weakness begins. You lose focus, you lose peace, and you lose your identity. Let's make this clear with an example. Imagine two people planting seeds. One plants a sunflower, the other plants a bamboo tree. The sunflower grows in weeks, tall, beautiful, and fast. But the bamboo tree, for the first 4 years, nothing happens. No sign, no leaves, no height. People laugh and say there's nothing there. But what they don't see is this. The bamboo is growing roots. Deep, strong, powerful roots. In the 5th year, it shoots up to 90 feet in just weeks. Now ask yourself, was the bamboo tree late? No, it was just on a different timeline. That's you. Maybe others are succeeding quickly. Maybe others speak better English. Maybe others are making more money, getting married, buying cars, or becoming famous. But maybe you are growing roots. And when you rise, you will rise unshakable. So stop comparing your seed to someone else's flower. Focus on your soil, your growth, your water, your light. Understand this. What's meant for you will come, but only when you're ready. Comparison is a thief. It steals your focus, poisons your heart, and blinds you to your own blessings. From today, unfollow people who make you feel small, spend time with those who make you feel seen, celebrate your little wins, and trust your own pace. Your life is not a race. You are not late. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Once you stop comparing, you start living, growing, and healing. That is true mental strength. Strategy 10. Practice gratitude, because a grateful heart can survive anything. Let me tell you something the world doesn't talk about enough. Gratitude is not just about saying, thank you. It's about seeing beauty even in pain. Gratitude is the ability to say, yes, I'm struggling, but I'm still breathing. Yes, life is hard, but I'm still here and I'm still fighting. Yes, things are not perfect, but I still have something to be thankful for. Gratitude is like mental armor. It protects you from negativity, jealousy, fear, and sadness. When your mind focuses on what's missing, you feel broken. But when your mind focuses on what you still have, you feel strong, calm, and peaceful. Let's go deeper. Imagine two people lose their job on the same day. The first one says, "Why me? I'm such a failure. Everything is ruined." They sink into depression, blame others, and give up. The second one says, "It hurts, but maybe this is a chance to start something new. At least I still have my skills, my health, and my mind." They start small, learn, and rebuild. Same problem, different mindset. The person with gratitude has more power, more peace, and more strength. Gratitude doesn't remove pain, but it adds meaning to pain. It helps you see that even in darkness, there is light. Start doing this today. Every morning before checking your phone, write down 3 things you're grateful for. Not big things, simple things like, I can see the sky, I have food to eat, I'm learning English, I still have hope. Every night before sleeping, say out loud, today wasn't perfect, but I'm thankful I lived it. Slowly, your mind will change. It will stop focusing on what's wrong and start seeing what's right. Gratitude makes you humble, peaceful, and most importantly, mentally unbreakable. Because no matter what life takes from you, if you still know how to say thank you, you are never truly poor. Strategy 11. Let go of things you cannot control. Free your mind, free your power. Let's be honest. So many people today are mentally exhausted, not because of how hard life is, but because they're constantly trying to control things that are not in their control. They want to control what others think about them, what their parents expect, how people react to their truth, whether someone stays in their life, whether the world treats them fairly, and whether success comes quickly. When they fail to control these things, they break down. But here's the truth that mentally strong people understand. You can't control the wind, but you can control how you sail. You can't stop the storm, but you can learn how to stand in it. The moment you try to control everything, you're actually giving away your power. You're telling life, I will only be okay if everything goes the way I want. That's weakness. Strength is saying, even if things don't go my way, I will still stay calm, still stay focused, and still move forward. Let me give you a real-world example. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and you're late for an important meeting. Cars aren't moving, the noise is loud, you're frustrated and angry. You keep looking at the clock and yelling in your mind. But tell me, does any of that change the situation? The traffic won't move faster because you're stressed. The meeting won't start earlier because you're upset. All that energy is wasted. Now imagine someone else in the same traffic. They take a deep breath, accept what they cannot change, call ahead to inform they'll be late, and use the time to listen to something helpful or learn something new. Same problem, different mindset, different level of strength. Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. Letting go means you're smart enough to understand where to spend your energy. So ask yourself, can I change this situation? Is this something I control, or am I just reacting? If it's out of your hands, let it be out of your mind. This includes other people's opinions, past mistakes, delays in your plans, things people said to hurt you, and fear of the future. You are not here to control everything. You are here to control your thoughts, your choices, your focus, and your response. Start doing this. Every time you feel stressed, ask, is this in my control? If the answer is no, breathe, release, and move forward. Use that energy to do something productive instead. Peace doesn't come when everything is perfect. Peace comes when you stop trying to control everything. The most powerful mind is not the one that controls the world, but the one that knows how to surrender to life without losing its strength. Strategy 12. Make small positive changes. That's how big transformation begins. Everyone wants big life changes. They say things like, I want to become confident, I want to become successful, I want to be fluent in English, I want to be mentally strong, I want to be happy. But here's the truth. Big change never comes from big talk. It comes from small, consistent action every single day. Most people fail because they wait for the perfect time to start something big. But mentally strong people start small, and they start now. They understand this one rule of growth. Small changes done daily lead to massive transformation. Let me show you how this works. Want to be physically healthy? Start with 5 push-ups a day. Want to master English? Start with 5 new words a day. Want to be confident? Start by speaking 1 brave sentence a day. Want to feel positive? Start by writing 1 thing you're grateful for each night. Want to feel peaceful? Start by sitting in silence for 3 minutes a day. These changes feel small, but they are not weak. They are powerful seeds. Just like a tiny seed becomes a tree, your tiny habits become your new identity. Here's what most people do wrong. They start big. They try to do everything in 1 week. They wake up one day and try to change their whole life. But it's too much. They get tired and quit. Why? Because change is not a sprint. It's a daily rhythm. Quiet, slow, and steady. Mentally strong people respect the process. They don't need fast results. They need progress, no matter how small. Imagine your life is like a big ship. You don't need to turn the whole ship in 1 second. You just need to adjust the wheel by 1 degree. That 1 degree shift may feel invisible today, but over weeks, months, and years, it changes your entire destination. Start making your 1 degree changes. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Replace 1 negative thought with a positive one. Instead of scrolling for 1 hour, scroll for 30 minutes. Drink more water. Sleep 30 minutes earlier. Be kind once a day to yourself and others. These are not small things. These are the foundation of transformation. Don't wait for January. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. Start right now with what you have. Where you are, remind yourself every day. I may not see results today, but I'm planting seeds. One day, I will live in the forest I created with these small acts. That's how mental strength is built. Brick by brick, day by day, breath by breath. Strategy 13. Take responsibility for your failures. No more excuses, only growth. There's one thing mentally weak people do all the time. They blame. My parents didn't support me. My teacher didn't explain it well. My boss is unfair. The system is broken. I didn't succeed because of bad luck. Yes, life can be unfair sometimes. You do get hurt by things that were not your fault. But here's the problem. Blaming keeps you stuck. It gives away your power. It tells your mind, I am not in control. The world controls me. And that's how you stay mentally weak. But mentally strong people do the opposite. They take full, brutal, honest responsibility for their life. They say, yes, I failed, and it's on me. Yes, I made a mistake, but I will learn from it. Yes, the situation was hard, but I still had choices. When you take responsibility for your failures, something amazing happens. You stop blaming and start learning. You stop complaining and start improving. You move from being a victim of life to being the creator of your life. Imagine someone fails an English exam. A mentally weak person will say, the questions were too hard, the teacher didn't explain it properly, I had too many things going on. Next time, they'll probably fail again. But a mentally strong person will say, I didn't prepare well enough. I didn't ask for help when I needed it. I let distractions get in the way. That mindset makes them stronger every time they fall, and soon they don't fail in the same way again because they actually grew. Failures are not the enemy. Excuses are. From today, own your mistakes, study your failures, stop blaming, and start building. The more responsibility you take for your life, the more power you unlock inside yourself. Blame is easy. Growth is hard. But only growth will change your life. Strategy 14. Do the difficult thing. Train your mind to embrace discomfort. Here's one powerful habit that builds unstoppable mental strength. Every morning, do the hardest thing first. Why? Because your mind is strongest in the morning, and when you complete the most difficult task first, you gain momentum, confidence, and clarity for the entire day. But most people avoid the hard things. They delay, procrastinate, and keep saying, "I'll do it later." Then, the task becomes bigger in their head, anxiety increases, confidence disappears, guilt builds, and the entire day feels heavy because the most important thing is still unfinished. Let's break it down. Imagine you have to study for an exam, make a difficult phone call, do a workout, finish a project, or speak to someone about a problem. Your brain wants you to do the easy things first. Scroll social media, watch YouTube, clean your desk, do research that turns into 3 hours of distraction. But what if, right after waking up, you took a deep breath and just did the hard thing first? Even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's scary, even if it's not perfect. Once it's done, your mind feels free. You walk taller. You feel proud. You've already done more than most people will do all day. The easy road makes life harder, but the hard road makes you stronger. Doing the difficult thing first trains your brain to stop avoiding life, because life is not always comfortable. Success is not always fun. Growth is not always pretty. But the person who trains their mind to face discomfort first is the person who becomes mentally unbreakable. Make this your daily rule. One hard task done first, one uncomfortable thing faced early, one moment of courage before anything else. It will change how you think, how you live, and how far you go. Strategy 15. Eliminate negativity from your life. Protect your peace like your life depends on it. If you want to be mentally strong, you must stop asking, "What should I add to my life?" and start asking, "What should I remove?" Here's a truth nobody tells you. Sometimes your mind is not weak. It's just surrounded by too much negativity. Negativity is poison. It can come from toxic people who always gossip, complain, or put you down. Negative environments that make you feel small or stuck. Your own thoughts, self-doubt, fear, judgment, regret. Social media that fills your head with comparison, fear, and noise. Habits that drain your energy, laziness, anger, and constant complaining. You can meditate all day, read all the self-help books, and watch every motivational video, but if you go back to a toxic environment, nothing will change. Your peace is not just something to hope for, it's something you must protect like it's your life. Let's make this real. Imagine a beautiful plant. You water it and give it sunlight. But every day someone pours poison into the soil. Will it grow? No, not because the plant is weak, but because the environment is toxic. That's your mind. You're not broken. You're not lazy. You're just surrounded by things that are killing your energy slowly. Start protecting yourself. Say goodbye to people who drain you, even if you love them. Set boundaries with friends who never grow. Limit your screen time. Stop consuming constant negativity. Cut out complaining. Speak about solutions, not problems. Watch what you feed your mind. Music, news, drama, gossip. Your mental strength will explode the moment you eliminate what weakens you. Try this. Clean your physical space. Your room reflects your mind. Take a negativity fast. 24 hours with no complaining, gossip, or negative talk. Create a peaceful zone. A space where you go to think, reflect, and recharge. Block or mute people online who make you feel inferior, angry, or empty. Most importantly, stop allowing your own thoughts to bully you. Your inner voice should sound like a coach, not a critic. If it doesn't, change the voice. You don't need a better life, you need a cleaner mind. And that begins by removing what doesn't belong. Final words. My amazing friends, remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be strong enough to try. One day at a time, one step at a time, one thought at a time. The world may try to break you, people may disappoint you, but as long as you keep growing, you are already winning. So stay calm, stay kind, and keep becoming the strongest version of yourself, silently, patiently, and powerfully. Take care of your mind, protect your peace. I believe in you, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, my friend. Keep going.